when you're tired or you're stiff, but you want to get your body moving again. So we'll do a bit of twisting and a bit of shoulders as well. So we're going to start sitting up this morning. So just cross-legged, one leg in front of the other, doesn't really matter which, because we're going to swap round. And then we're just going to take a very nice soft forward fold. So bending, just relaxing the spine forward. So you probably feel it in your hips and also feeling the spine expand. If you're flexible enough, you can put your head down towards the floor. If you're not, just stack two fists on top of each other. Hopefully that might be high enough so you can rest your forehead on your hands. So just softening into the hips, relaxing through the spine, forehead heavy on your hands or the floor if it's there. And then taking a nice deep breath into the back of the body. Feeling the ribs expand, lungs expand. Exhale and feel your tailbones heavy, sinking down towards the floor. Pelvis heavy. So a few more deep breaths like that. Inhaling, lungs expanding. Exhaling, softening the tailbone, lengthening the spine. Rounding the sitting bones. So you're not moving, you're just having that sense of heaviness through the lower body. One more deep breath there. If you're feeling that you can soften into it, maybe your head can come lower down, maybe your hands can go flat on top of each other and your head can come down onto them. Good, and then uncurling from there, changing legs. So just put the other leg in front, so that all feels slightly different through the hips. And then folding forward, the spine can be relaxed, doesn't have to be any sort of flat back going on. Stacking the hands however they need to be so that you can rest the forehead. And then same again, the other side. So as I said in my message, we are going to move today, obviously, but we're going to try and appreciate the parts of the practice where we're not moving either. And a bit of an opportunity to slow down. Inhaling deeply, exhaling, grounding the pelvis, relaxing the head down onto the hands, softening the spine. And then uncurling back to sitting. Sitting up tall, sitting bones planted into the mat. So we'll start to move through the arms. Just inhale, stretch the arms wide, all the way above the head. Exhale, draw them down through the center line. You can press the hands lightly together just so you're engaging the chest muscles. Inhale, stretch up, even stretch your fingers and your hands. Lengthen the arms as long as they'll go, and then press the hands together. Draw down. Two more like that. Inhale, scooping all the air around you into the hands, and then drawing down to the center line. One more, inhale, and exhale. And then let the hands rest, thumbs to the sternum, shoulders relax down, lengthen through the back of the neck, so maybe the chin is tucked in a little bit more than usual. Just taking a breath there, so that you're collecting all the parts of yourself, bringing them to the heart center. And then open the eyes gently. Stretch the left leg out to the side. Keep the right foot folded in. We're going to do my favorite warm-up exercise. So stretch the right arm out to the side. Inhale there. Exhale to sweep forward and round over the extended leg. And then inhale to reach up. Exhale, sweep down and round. So you'll start to feel a gentle stretch through the outstretched leg, but also stretching through the side body as you inhale. And then as you warm up, maybe feeling a twist through the center of the body as well. So as you inhale, you can look up to your hands, twist the torso more towards the back of the room, so your circles are getting a bit bigger each time. So two more this side. Trying to coordinate breath and movement. exhaling, use the whole exhalation to sweep down towards the leg, and then whole inhalation to reach up. And then pausing there in the middle. Changing sides. So the outstretched leg, just draw the toes gently towards you so that the thighs lightly engaged, reaching out with the opposite arm. It's big inhale, exhale, sweep down and round. The right hand can just rest on the thigh, on the floor, wherever's comfortable. So start off, maybe the circles are a bit smaller to start with, and then bringing in that rotation as you feel the center of the body warming up. Maybe reaching further over the outstretched leg each time. You can follow the hand with the eyes, comfortable for the neck. And then on the last two, maybe twisting a little more towards the back of the room. Letting the rotation through the torso. One more. And then coming back to center when you're ready. Folding that leg in again. And coming back to center, bring the hands to the chest again, close the eyes. Center yourself to that point where your thumbs are touching your chest. Good. And then we're going to roll over onto hands and knees now. We're going to take cat-cow, but with the leg outstretched. So stretch the right leg out to the side to start with. So the toes are pointing forward, foot's in line with knee. Come to a neutral spine. So see if you can relax down that right hip so it's not jutting up. So the more you relax down that right hip in line with the left, the more you'll feel the stretch on the inner thigh. And then from there, inhaling, drawing the chest forward, sticking the tailbone out, exhale, press through the hands around to the back. See how high you can lift your shoulder blades. Inhale. So don't throw the head back when you do this. Think more about lengthening the throat. Exhale, tuck the tail under. Inhale. Open the chest, press down with the hands. Exhale, doming through the lower back, tucking the tail under. Neutral. And then push with your hands so you're coming up to upright. Gate pose. Inhale, left arm. Reach really long through the left side of the body. And over to the corner of the room. So you're trying to find length through the side of the body, still plugging the arm bone in, the shoulders drawing down, but lengthening out of the waist. And then breathe when you get there. It's always a bit difficult initially in the side stretch to breathe, but see if you can feel the lungs expanding on the side you're stretching. And then maybe as you exhale, you might be able to come into the stretch a little bit further. Try not to lean forward in the stretch. Try and keep parallel and then back up. And walk forward onto the hands and change legs. So same again this side. Relaxing down that left hip so the hips are parallel. Starting off in a neutral spine, so length between the crown of the head and the tailbone. And then as you inhale, arching the back, stretching the front of the throat. Exhale, curling the tailbone under. Press with the hands. Inhale. So exhaling. See if you can use the whole breath throughout the movement. Inhale. Exhale one more time. Head relaxed. And then come back to neutral. Push your way up onto the knee. Inhale, reaching the right arm up. Find length first before you go to the side, long as possible. And then tilting over towards the left. Lifting out of the waist, drawing the shoulder down. And breathing into the right side of the body now. So you can really feel, if you give your body time, it can release into the stretches. So you're letting the soft tissue respond, not forcing it, just allowing it to happen. Inhale, exhale one more time. And then come back up. Forward onto your hands. Bring that leg in, so we're back to all fours. So we're going to start with puppy pose. So we've been doing this against the wall, but let's just do it here for now. So keep your hips over your knees, walk the hands forward. Really think about lengthening through the sides of the body as the chest descends towards the mat, the forehead descends towards the mat. So you're lengthening the tailbone away, you're still pressing your hands into the floor in this pose. So your arms are active rather than your elbows flopping down onto the mat, your forehead's resting on the mat. So nice stretch through the shoulders, but also think about lengthening through the waist on both sides of the body. Inhale, exhale here. Feeling the stretch under the armpits. Good. And then walking away carefully back up to all fours. And we're going to come into downward facing dog, but see if we can recreate that feeling through the front of our dog. So tuck the toes under, send the bottom well back, knees bent, and sink the chest down just as you've just done. So my knees are still really bent at this point. Inhale, exhale there. And we're going to straighten the right leg and bend the left leg. So spend some time just with the right leg stretched. So you can even tilt the right hip away a little bit so that you really feel stretched through the right side of the body. So you're twisting your hips towards the right, so length through the right side of the body, length through the right leg. Good. And then tilt the hips so you're coming back center again. Straighten the left leg now, bend the right, and this time tilt the hips away towards the left so you're feeling length through the left side of the body. So hips are high, so they're the top part of the pose, and then you're stretching long through the waist and long through the leg. Good. So we'll bend and straighten the knees a couple more times in your own time with that little twist of the hips. So pedaling one foot and then the other, lovely stretch. Take that a couple more times. Evenly, so you've done both sides the same amount of times, and then come back to the center. So normal downward facing dog. Your knees are still bent, but probably not as bent as they were at the beginning. Good. And from there, we're going to come straight into a plank. So rock forward onto the hands, legs straight, thighs, back of the thighs lifted, and really press with the hands and dome across the back like we were doing in cat-cow. And then we're going to come straight back up to downward facing dog. So you can bend the knees a little bit, sitting bones high, relaxing the chest towards the mat. So we're going to do that a few times to warm up the wrists, but also to use the belly. So rocking forward back into plank, and then pressing back up into downward facing dog. You can do it nice and slow. No need to rush. Lift the sitting bones high. Inhaling as you come to plank. Draw the belly in, dome between the shoulder blades, and then press back into downward facing dog. One more time, forward into plank. And then press back, downward facing dog. Good. From here, we're going to lift the right leg up into three-legged dog. Keep the hips parallel if you can. Stretch the leg away and then stepping it all the way between the hands. Dropping the back knee down. Coming into low lunge. Sink the hips forward. Relaxing the pelvis down, but chest lifting. Drawing forwards. So again, give your body time to respond. Let go through the hips. Let go through the hip flexors if you've got a tight hip flexors this morning. Nice deep breath in. Inhale to release. Good. So we're going to lift up so the body's upright and sweep the arms up. So if you've got a sensitive lower back, just make sure you're pulling up through the front of the body to support the back. Reach the arms up. You can interlace the thumbs if that feels good. We don't often do this, but interlace the thumbs if that feels good. If that's really bad for your shoulders, leave the hands to come open. So you're drawing the shoulder blades down and back behind you, chest open. If you've got your thumbs hooked, you can use the thumbs hooked against each other to help draw the arm bones back. Good. Hands either side of the foot again. Tuck the toes under, step back, downward facing dog. So give the knees a little bend, tilt the pelvis up and away. And then maybe you can straighten them out just a bit more. Inhale, lift the left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Take a breath there. And then stepping that foot all the way between the hands, dropping the back knee down, coming into your low lunge. So your choice in a low lunge, whether you have the back toes tucked under or flat, whichever feels better for your knee. And then again, using the breath, exhaling, softening through the pelvis, letting the weight of the pelvis descend towards the mat. One more breath here, and then pressing up, sweeping the arms up, interlace the thumb, maybe interlace it the other way. The other thumb tucking behind now. If that's really not good for your shoulders, keep the arms open. And then drawing the shoulder blades back and down behind you, drawing up through the front of the body so you're not slumping into your lower back. And then take a breath there. Feel the chest open. Good. Hands either side of the foot. Step back. Downward facing dog again. Inhale, exhale. Inhale to your plank. And exhale, knees, chest, chin. Down to the floor. Remember to keep the elbows tucked in. And then belly comes to the floor, rolling the shoulders back, lifting up into a low cobra. So in your low cobra, just hover the hands above the mat. Make sure the feet are in contact with the floor. You can feel the back muscles working. And then release the hands back to the floor to press your way up, back into downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the right leg up and back again. Exhale, this time we're going to step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. We haven't done this one for a while. So the foot's on the outside of the right hand and the toes can be turned out to about 45 degrees or more. So your choice in this one, you can either keep the back leg lifted, or if you think it helps you release through the hip, you can drop the back knee down. Sometimes trying to keep that back leg straight can sort of stop you from relaxing through the right hip. So I'm going to drop my knee down. So your right knee can be opening out towards the side. So you feel that lovely opening through the hip. And then again, your choice, if that's enough for you there, stay there. Or if you feel you've got more space, you can come down onto your forearms, but you're really trying to relax and let go through the hip. Deep breath here. Good. If you came down onto your forearms, coming back up, straightening the back knee so that you can step back into downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or if you're feeling strong, you can tuck the elbows in, come down into a straight line, chaturanga. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest off the mat using the muscles on your back, and then hover the hands again. Good. Release the hands down, press your way up, downward facing dog again. Same on the other side. Inhale, sweep up the left leg. Exhale, stepping to the outside of the left hand. So foot turned out, knee can open up towards the side. And again, you'll do the same as you did on the other side. So if you drop your back knee down on the other side, then do so here. And just allow your body time to respond to what you're asking it to do. Soften through the left buttock, left hip. And if you did on the other side, you can come down onto the forearms. Don't be surprised if one hip feels much tighter than the other. Keep breathing through it. Long, slow exhalations can really help release. Good. Then coming back up onto the hands, you went down onto the forearms, tucking the toes under, stepping back, downward facing dog. Let's take another flow here to even ourselves out, rocking forward into plank. knees, chest, chin, or coming down in a straight line. Take the time so the triceps having to work. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, Cobra. You keep the hands on the floor this time. Maybe press up a little bit higher if you've got the space to do that. And then back up, downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale. And then we're going to walk the feet towards the hands till we find ourselves in a forward fold. So relax, forward fold, knees soft. You're still tilting the sitting bones back and away behind you. So bring the feet a little bit closer together now. We're going to come into chair pose. So the feet can meet or just a little bit apart if that's more comfortable. Bend the knees deeply. Sweep the arms up. So again, scoot the belly up and under to create strength. You can squeeze the knees together if you've got your inner feet together. Sitting the bottom down nice and low. So the thighs are working, the bottom's working. Good. Stay there for another breath. And then we're going to fold back forward into that forward fold. So relaxing the spine now, hanging the head. Just let the hands rest on the floor. Inhale, exhale here. And then we're going to come back to chair pose. So sink the bottom down. Sweep the hands up. Draw up through the front of the belly. Cut the tailbone under a little bit if you've got weakness in the lower back. And then see if you can draw the arms, the shoulders down, chest lifting. Weight should be rocking back into the heels now. I'm just going to stay here for another moment. And then fold forward again. Forward fold. Inhale, exhale. And then when you're ready, bend the knees to sweep all the way up to standing. Come all the way up, lift the arms up, look up, and then hands back to prayer. So you're in mountain pose. Just let the hands rest at the sternum again. Close the eyes. Bring your attention back to that space at the heart center. Good. So stepping forward to the front of the mat now. I'm going to go into another sequence. So when you're ready, inhale, stretch all the way up to the sky. Exhale, bend the knees a little bit to fold forward with a flat back, all the way down to the floor. Inhale, lift up halfway, use the back muscles. Exhale, step the right leg back. So coming into a high lunge now. So plant both feet firmly into the floor so you're not slumping down in the pose. You've got a firm foundation. Rest the right hand lightly on the mat and reach the left up towards the sky. Good, and now we're going to make some circles from here. So big circles with the left arm, reaching down and then around, inhaling as the arm comes up, exhaling. So the less weight you lean on the right hand, the more work your leg's going to have to do. So rest the right hand lightly. Inhale, sweep up. Nice movement for the shoulders, one more circle. And then hands over the side of the foot, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale for plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin or chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale there. And then when you're ready on the exhalation, a little hop of the feet between the hands. Be brave. Fold forwards. Inhale, sweep up, standing. Exhale, hands to prayer. Take a moment there, close the eyes. Feel the energy starting to flow in your body. And then we'll take the other side. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold forwards. Spine lengthens. Inhale, flat back, hands resting lightly to the back, doing the work. Exhale, left leg goes back now. Find that high lunge position. Both feet making a firm foundation. Inhaling, exhaling. So you're stretching through the hip flexors in this pose as well, but using the thighs, lifting the back thigh, resting the left hand lightly, twisting towards the bent leg, extending the right arm long, fingertip stretching, and then start to make those nice big slow circles with the right arm now. So left hand lightly on the mat. Inhale as you sweep up. Make sure you keep that back thigh lifted. Big circles. One more circle. And then hands either side of the foot. Step back. Downward facing dog. Take a breath there. Sitting bones high, chest relax down. Remember what we were doing at the beginning. Good. And then in your next inhalation, coming forward to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhaling, exhaling. And then on your next exhalation, hopping the feet between the hands, folding forwards. Inhale, pressing with the feet to lift up. And hands back to prayer. Close the eyes, enjoy the stillness. So just let the thumb rest against the heart center. So feel your feet are grounded. The spine beautifully stacked above the pelvis, shoulders relax down. Lovely. Okay, so one more sequence. Inhale, stretching up to the side. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, step the left leg back, ground the left heel. We're going to come up into warrior. Shoulders down, arms, fingers stretching wide. Good. So we're going to lift the arms above the head, and you're going to catch the right wrist lightly with the left hand. And then we're going to come into reverse warrior pose like that. So you're using the left hand just to encourage that length through the right side of the body. Try and stay bent into the legs. So side stretch like we were doing at the beginning. Good. And then coming back up center. And then we're going to come into side angle pose. So we're going to rest the left knee lightly on, sorry, that right elbow lightly on the right leg, and stretch the opposite arm over the top. So length with the other side of the body. Make sure the outer edge of the left foot pressing into the mat. Good. Stay there one more moment. Come back up to warrior. And then straighten the front knee gently. Heel toe the back leg in a little bit. So you're in an easier triangle pose. Good. So we're going to come gently into triangle. Sarah, remember, just let the left hip come around as much as it wants to. Resting the bottom hand on the floor, the shin. And then stretching the other arm up towards the ceiling. So you're trying to feel that you've got even length on either side of your spine. So rather than feel like you're curling down, that you're lengthening through both sides of the back evenly in the pose. Press the feet away from each other into the floor. The more you do that, the more you'll feel the lift out of your knees. Good. Press those feet away and into the floor, and then coming back up. Good. Turn the feet to face 45 degrees, hands on the hips. So we're coming into a goddess squat. So your feet are 45 degrees, bend the knees. So you're So you'll match your feet so they're in line with where your knees want to go for your hips. I'm going to stretch the arms out wide. And I'm just going to do a little bit of a rock from side to side. So staying on like a level plane, just rocking from side to side. Good. Maybe you're going a bit lower as you create warmth with your rocking. Excellent. Keep going, just a few more moments. Turn the palms up. Good. Come back to center. Maybe you've come down a bit lower. Good. Straighten the knees. Turn the toes inwards now. They're facing 90 degrees. Hands on the hips. Folding forward. So stretching out with a flat back first. And then when you've gone as far as you can, letting the rest of the spine waterfall down. Just let the head be heavy. So again, check what your feet are doing. Are your feet grounding down through all three parts of the triangle? Base of the big toe, the little toe, the heels. Relax the head. Good. And then lift up to a flat back again. So the fingertips are just resting lightly on the floor. Come up to a flat back. Find that length through the back of the legs. So stick your bottom out so you can feel the stretch at the top of the legs. And then folding forward once more from there. So hopefully you find a bit more length in the hamstrings. Good. And then what we're going to do is come up and then turn towards the front edge of the mat. Turn the back heel up so that your hands end up either side of the foot, facing the front of the mat again. Step back, downward facing dog. Now come forward to plank. And then just a little challenge here. Come into a nice plank, doming between the shoulder blades, then just lift the right leg up, just an inch, the right toes up a little inch above the floor. Keep the rest of the body absolutely still. Imagine you've got a gin and tonic on your back. And then rest that foot back down to the floor. Same with the left foot. So engage the belly, press down firmly with the hands. And then rest that foot back to the floor. If you've still got the energy, come down in chaturanga. Or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, Cobra. And exhale, back to downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale. Little hop forward again. On the exhalation, folding forward. Inhale, sweep up. And exhale, back to prayer. And then standing still. Closing the eyes. Finding that stillness and spaces between movement. Okay, and then to the other side. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, right leg goes back. Ground the right heel. Coming up on the other side. So heel of the front foot in line with the arch of the back foot. Excellent. Shoulders relax down. See if you can straighten the back leg. Good. And then same as we did before. So the right hand catches the left wrist, the left hand, just to encourage that side stretch in your reverse warrior. So don't overdo it. Just allow the body to open up a little bit, lengthen through the side. We'll all be an inch taller at the end of the task. Keep sinking down, don't cheat in your warrior. Back foot pressing into the floor as well as the front one, and then coming back up. Dropping elbow to knee, left elbow to knee, drawing the right arm across into side angle. So even more important, you press the back foot into the mat and reach the fingertips long. Keep the belly drawn in. Try not to slump down into your left shoulder. And then coming back up, heel toeing, straighten the back leg gently, heel toe the back foot in. to a more comfortable triangle foundation. And then reaching out over the left leg and releasing the hand to wherever it comes naturally. So again, see if you can find length through both sides of the body. So we're turning the chest to face the front of the room, but you're not trying to yank your hip back. So if your right hip wants to roll in, then all well and good, but then try and lengthen through both sides of the body. Inhale, exhale there. Smile. And then coming back up, turning the toes 45 degrees again. Hands on the hips. And coming back into that squat. So bring the hands to the chest this time. And then starting that rocking motion, side to side. Need your feet to go a bit wider, that's fine. If you want to make a bigger rocking, that looks very good. We look like elegant sumo wrestlers. Maybe rocking a bit lower. Nice to move through the knees. And then staying in the center now. Squeezing the bottom, pressing the feet into the floor, activating the thighs. And then straighten the legs carefully. Turn the toes to face forward. And we'll come back into forward fold one more time. Release all the way down this time. A nice deep breath. So if you're quite flexible and you're quite far down, you might want to hold on lightly behind your calf, your heels, to help draw the torso down. Let your neck relax, because if you relax your neck, it's a really nice pose for the lengthening through the back of the neck, which we can crunch up when we're working at computers. Good. And then coming out of that, just turning towards the front foot, hand side of that foot, step back, forward. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. This time, allow the hip to open up. So you're allowing the hip to rotate. You can look under the shoulder, see if you can see your foot. Evenly between the hands. That leg back to parallel again. Back three-legged dog. And this time we're going to come into pigeon pose. We haven't done pigeon pose for a while, so you're going to bring the knee all the way up between the hands. I'll face this way. So with pigeon pose, you remember if you walk the foot further forward so that the chin becomes more parallel, it's more of a stretch. So find the angle for you that works. Try not to sickle the foot too much. So try and keep your foot flexed so the ankle's not rolling in. And then bring your weight to the center between your two hips. Stretch the left leg out behind you straight. And then relaxing down into the pelvis, softening through the buttocks to the right side. So keep the chest lifted for a moment, shoulders rolling back, and then you can fold your way forward. So again, hands can rest on can be flat on top of each other, or if you need to, you can stack the hands fist on fist so the head can release down. Nice deep breaths. Letting go in the hips and the buttocks on the right side. Good. Lifting back out of that. Hands by the side again. Got the toes under so you can step back into downward facing dog. And we'll just take the same on the other side. So on an inhale, sweeping up the left leg one more time, three-legged dog. And then drawing the left knee down between the hands. Walking the left foot out so the shin is at the right angle for you to feel a stretch. Flexing the left foot to protect the ankle And then coming up on your hands or your fingertips, rolling the shoulders back. So if you tend to overstretch in the lower back, make sure you're drawing up through the belly. Sink down through the hips. And then when you're ready, tipping the body forward, come to rest on the hands, or you can stretch the arms fully out in front of you, wherever you need to go to feel the stretch for you. And then once you get there, come back to stillness. Using the exhalations to release and let go. So one more deep breath here. And then pushing back up onto the hands, tucking the toes under so you can step back to downward facing dog. So last hop, feet between the hands, folding forwards. Inhale, stretch up all the way to the top. And back to prayer. Come back to mountain pose. Close the eyes. And then opening the eyes. Going to come into a standing twist for our balance. So feet firmly grounded, shifting the weight into the left foot, drawing the right knee up towards the chest, catching it with your hands, giving it a nice squeeze in. Excellent. And then just let the leg come away from you a little bit. And then you're going to cross the left arm on the outside of that right knee and put your right hand on your hip. And we're going to twist towards the right. So you're turning the chest towards the right. Use the belly to keep lifting the knee. And then you can, if you want to, you can extend that right arm out behind you. If that feels good. So it's like that twist that we do lying on the mat when your knee comes across, but we're doing it standing. So pulling up through the supporting leg, lovely big twist through the waist. And then the final touch, can you look out over your backhand? Find a spot to look at. Ooh, I'm wobbling. Come back to center. Don't let the leg come down, or if it's already come down, put it back up again so I can't tell. Leg back up. Extend it out in front of you, arms in the air. Draw the belly in. Strong belly, strong thigh. Good. I can see feet, hip flexors working, and relax the leg down. Well done. A little shake out. So we'll do the same on the other side. So step up your foundation. Spread the toes of the right foot, draw the left knee in. Give it a squeeze. Tight in. So you're still pulling up with the supporting leg. Don't let your hip sag down. So you're lifting up out of the supporting leg. And then releasing the knee away, crossing opposite hand over. Start with your hand on your hip as you turn your chest to face the left side of the room. Extend the arm out when you get there. And then if you feel that you've got your balance, you can have a go at looking out over the back hand. So a lovely twist all the way from the outer hip to the shoulder. Come back to center. Lift the knee up a little bit again if it's sagged. And then one last effort. Stretch the leg out. My left leg so much weaker than my left leg so much weaker than my right. Belly drawn in. Thigh strong. One more breath there. And release down. Well done. Good. So we're going to come down via a squat, a nice squat to release out through the buttocks now. So bring the feet wider, 45 degrees in the feet. Come down into a squat. So you can use the elbows to encourage the knees open. Close your eyes if that feels good. So you bring your thumb back towards that heart center. So if you can lift with the chest, sink down through the buttocks. Good. And then releasing the bottom down onto the mat. We're just going to finish off stretching the legs wide. Hopefully your legs feel reasonably warm now, hips reasonably warm. So just enjoy the feeling of your sitting bones connecting, grounding down into the mat, and the legs actively stretching out. So if it's hard for you to sit up in this position, you can rest the hands behind you to help support the back. So you're drawing up the spine up long, crown of the head long, and then activate the legs. So draw the toes towards you, engage the thighs. Maybe your heels will come off the floor. It depends on the shape of your legs, really. And then keeping the legs active, but maybe not quite so dramatically so. Hinging a little bit forward from the waist. So it might just be a tiny angle that you can find here. Just take it as far as you need to feel the nice stretch through the inner thighs and the hamstrings with a flat back. So if you're more flexible, you might be down on your forearms. Inhale, exhale. Try and breathe through any feelings that you have of resistance to the pose. And if you really can't breathe and release, then come out of it. So don't go so deep that you can't relax, and try and release. And then we're just going to curl forward now like we did at the beginning. So soften through the spine now. And maybe your head can get to your stacked hands on top of each other. If it can't, you can still be on your hands, but relax the head forward now around the spine. You might be on your forearms, you might have your head on your hands stacked. So just a couple more breaths here. Good, sitting back up. Coming back to where we started, so resting the weight on the hands if you need to, just sitting up straight again. Maybe you'll find it easier now that we stretch forward, activate the legs. Spine reaching tall out of the pelvis, and relax the legs down again. And help your legs in. So come back to cross leg pose now, one leg in front of the other. So we're just going to finish off with that shoulder opener that we talked about at the beginning. So grounding through the hips. Oh, actually, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to do it in different legs. So we're going to do it in cow face pose legs as well. So you're going to cross your right leg. You're going to bend your left leg in, and you're going to cross your right leg over the top. So it might be the foot's resting flat on the floor, and you've got both sitting bones on the floor. That's fine. Or you can try, if you want to, you can stack that knee all the way on top of the other. But if that means that you're like this and your spine's all wonky, then come back to the foot flat, because it's better that your spine's upright. If your body can do this one today, stacking the knees on top of each other, and if you're really flexible, maybe your feet can edge a bit forward. So from there, you're going to take the right arm up into the sky, drop the hand behind you, and just use the other hand to find length through the upper arm. So try not to press the arm against the head and the neck, especially if you've had neck injuries recently. And then we're reaching the left arm out as long as it will go, turning the back of the hand towards me so that it's in the right plane, and then sending it up behind you, maybe to catch hold of the other hand, maybe to catch hold of your jumper. If you've got a strap, you can hang the strap down and use that to help you edge your hands together. So feel like your elbows are drawing back and away, your shoulder blades are drawing together. Excellent. So you can either stay there, or you can fold forwards. If you've got your foot up flat, you won't be able to fold forwards. So stay there. If you have got your foot down, you can fold forward a little bit. Take the stretch into the hips. And then coming back up. Open the chest one more time. Elbows drawing back. And then carefully release off. Take your time. Big opening for both shoulders. And release off. And change sides. So whatever you did with the legs on that side, do the same on this side. So you're nice and even. So left foot over the top. Or left knee might be stacked. whichever is best for you in terms of getting a straight, even spine. So take the same again. You might want to actually already have your strap hanging from the top arm so it's there ready for you. So the left arm comes up, the right arm. So when your left arm comes up, make sure you're still keeping your elbow, your shoulder plugged in, the arm plugged in. Good. Nice stretch through the upper arm. And then when you're ready, reaching the arm out long, rotating, inner rotation of the shoulder. And send it out behind to catch hold of the strap or your hand. So I really hurt my shoulder a few years ago trying to do that stupid indoor skydiving thing. And I couldn't do this I gradually had to do this for about 2 years to get it back to where it was, but it did come back in the end. Mobility, have to be gentle. And then if you did on the other side, you can do a little fold forward. And then coming back up as you went forward and carefully releasing off one arm and then the other. Come back to normal cross-legged. We'll just finish with one final forward fold like we did at the beginning, but this time interlace the fingers behind you. Stretch your arms away. Feel the shoulder blades coming together, the shoulders rolling back, lovely openness through the chest. Close the eyes if you want to. And then from there, bowing the head forward towards the floor. It might not come towards the floor, on the floor. Allowing the hands to come away from the body, just to the extent that your shoulders will allow it. And just being with that for a couple of moments. And coming back up to sitting, keep the hands extending away behind you. And then relax the hands away, extend the legs out in front of you. Sitting on the sitting bones again, both legs stretched out in front of you. Again, rest the weight on the hands behind you, fingertips facing forwards. You can lean the weight back onto the hands, just lift the chest. Open across the front of the collarbones, maybe lift the chin as well. Superman pose, feel a ray of light, maybe emanating from the chest. Good, and then come back sitting, bend the knees and fold forward over the legs. So you can bend the knees just so you feel that you're not straining, you're just softening the back down over the legs. So you can hold on to the feet, the outside edge of the feet, drape the spine over the bent knees. And then if you want to, from there, you can walk the bottom backwards so the knees are a little bit less bent. But this is meant to be a relaxing pose. So just softening through the length of the spine. Closing the eyes. And then coming back up slowly, sitting and making your way all the way down onto the floor for a final relaxation. So it's 10 o'clock now, so if any of you have got meetings or anything, just take a minute here in Shavasana. Otherwise, I'll keep you here for 2 or 3 minutes. So you can either have your feet resting flat on the mat, the knees hammered together if that's more comfortable for you, or stretching the feet out to the corner of the mat, palms the hands up. Releasing the full weight of the body onto the mat now. Letting go of everything that's gone before. Not anticipating what's coming next, just enjoying the sensation of the body resting. Soft tissue softening away from the bones of the body. You're becoming heavier, becoming softer. The skin becomes smoother. Really soften the skin across the forehead and the jaw, scalp of the head. And turn your inner eye to that point at the heart where your thumbs are resting and your hands are in prayer. So you can think about drawing the breath into the heart space as you inhale and sending the breath out of that space into the world around you as you exhale. So if you find your attention wandering, you can draw it back to that heart space, watching the inhalation come into that space. Exhaling, sending warm light out of the heart space. So slowly starting to move the body now. Stretch the fingers and toes. Stretch whatever needs stretching. And hugging the knees in. And rolling onto your side when you're ready, taking a moment there before you come back to sitting. Bring the hands to the heart one more time. Namaste.